You said on a radio interview that you saved up enough money to buy the equipment and it took about 8 years to put out your first single. What kind of gear and budget were you saving up for and why did it take so long?
That's a great first question. The 8 years was not only about raising the money to buy the equipment, but it was about figuring out what kind of sound we wanted to put out there as our very first song. So yes, we spent a few summers raising money. We would street perform in Washington Square Park in New York City, and we raised enough money to buy a ukulele, a computer, get the Pro Tools program to put on there so we can record, and microphones, things like that. But it was more about taking that time on the street and in the studio, figuring out what resonated with people and what made sense for our band to be saying that was kind of unique as compared to the other artists that we heard on the radio and, on iTunes and streaming services. So it was less about making enough money over those 8 years and more about experimenting. We tried folk music, we tried hip hop, we tried straight down the middle pop, and everything that we tried informed where we ended up.
Right. And what better way than just busting on the street and getting immediate feedback?
100%. Most people out there don't want to be seeing a performance. So that's the best way to tell if your music is going to do what you want it to do. Convincing people who don't want to see you to actually be a fan.
That's awesome. I love that. You had a really interesting marketing strategy for your first single, I'm Ready. So of all of the different paths of releasing music, how did you land on just sending it out to celebrities?
So I'm Ready was almost a Hail Mary move, that strategy. And it's funny, I don't know if I would even call it a marketing strategy. I guess it is a marketing strategy, but it just felt like we need to get this out there. What's the craziest thing we could possibly do? And we didn't have a team. We didn't have anybody. It was just Ryan, Jack, and I. And Ryan and I came to the conclusion that we needed to do this while we were sitting in a class together at Columbia. I was taking notes for both of us, and he was doing this. Neither of us did very well in the class at all because clearly we were focused on other things. But we said, the thing is that it couldn't hurt. If we sent this out to 50 celebrities and nobody responded, it would have taken, a half hour of our time, and that would have been time well spent. And if just one of them replies, it would have been worth it. And one of them replied, and it was worth it. And Sia connected us to all the right people in the industry, and she became a fan because of that. And she is just the most amazing, down-to-earth, creative person that we've met.